Yes, we're going to be talking about AI for project managers, and basically AI and project management generally. We're going to talk about what is AI, do an introduction of AI, what AI is, and then what is not, and then key areas on how we can use it in project management, basically. Um, my name is Emmanuel. I'm going to be taking this course. So let's go. Let's begin. Now, what is AI or what is artificial intelligence? I know that it's no longer a new word. It's more like a buzzword now because everybody uses AI, right? But basically, we'll talk about AI, which is the which is for short called artificial intelligence is for short called AI. It refers to technologies that enable machines to mimic human intelligence. So artificial intelligence. So basically trying to copy human intelligence. We'll talk about human intelligence, talk about reasoning, right? How humans reason, how humans learn, how humans adapt, and how humans make decisions, basically. So it is no longer something that is in the future, it is already now. And your ability to use AI will really help you in terms of driving competency, making you more efficient, and ensuring that you have a smarter governance process even today. So AI is key, AI is important, AI is necessary, and it's not something you should be alien to because it is what we use now in our generation to make our work more efficient. Why is it important that you should care? Like I said, productivity and efficiency, those tasks that are usually repeated most of the times, with the advent of AI, one can now, be more efficient. And what I mean by that is you are now able to um, increase your productivity. You're more efficient in terms of automating your tasks. And when you automate your tasks, you're freeing up your time that will now allow you to do more high end jobs, right? High end value to create more value in other places. Another thing is better decision making. Before you can take one decision, you have to get data here, data here, data here. But with the advent of generative AI and newer technologies, big data and all that, you can make data driven decisions without guesswork. You can get this data faster. You can interpret the data faster, right? So you're not just even getting it, but artificial intelligence will help you interpret it. Even data points where you didn't even think will be useful in terms of decision making. Artificial intelligence can help you coordinate that data, clean it up in a way that can give you solutions that can help you make better decisions. And then in terms of risk management, with the use of predictive AI, you are able to predict some things before they even happen. You are able to know, okay, this thing, if it continues like this, your AI model can tell you that this is where it's going to lead you, and then you can plan ahead and manage the risks. And then when it comes to stakeholder engagement, um, I can't remember I, almost every day before I send out any communication, I run it through my AI, right? So that I'm sure that okay, it helps me in terms of grammar, punctuation, even in terms of coordinating the message so that it is clear and concise and passing the right information that I want it to pass. um, Artificial intelligence is game on it. So it helps you to personalize communication and then manage your customers and stakeholders very, 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 very well. There are some concepts that you need to know in general when it comes to AI, right? So AI is like the large subset, the big subset of what we're talking about, right? Um, but AI is not, AI has other things under it, right? So under AI, we have machine learning, we have um, deep learning, you have generative AI, which you probably have heard. You have GPT. GPT means generative pre-trained transformers. That's what GPT is. Basically used in large language models, basically. I'm going to try to see how to explain these terminologies and what they are used for, right? For machine learning, it's basically like a subfield of AI where you try to train neural networks. That's a lot of grammar, but train data, train models so that with that model they're able to predict output. What that simply just means simple. There's a more detailed definition. Like there's a more, it's broken down into um, different parts, but I don't want to go deep into it. It is just an introductory class where you feed it this type of data, it combines that data and then gives you an output. It can predict the output. So basically, I'm training. When I mean I'm training, I'm feeding it different types of data, and I'm expecting it to give me an output, right? So yeah, and then there are sometimes you just train it with vague data, and then it gives you. You try to guide it into giving you the right output, right? So, but basically, when you talk about machine learning, you're training your machine to learn, right, and give you the kind of output you want it to do or give to you, right? And then when we talk about deep learning, deep learning is a more advanced machine learning type, right? Um, it depends on multi layers of different neural networks, basically, right? And then they try to extract different features and then make decisions. For deep learning, of course, it's you need a large set of data um, to be able to bring out significant results from it. But it's a higher level of machine learning. It is used for very complex systems. Then we have generative AI, which is one of the most popular now in terms of the general use of artificial intelligence. So we have generative AI, which is also like a subset of deep learning, somewhat, um, that basically applies what we call LLMs, large language models, and then with that they're able to create a system that is capable of generating new data. The data can be in form of text, can be in form of speech, can be that's something that can talk, audio, you know, pictures, videos, and a lot of them, right? Amongst others. So Gen AIs or generative AI is what is mostly what we use now. Basically, when you talk about the LLMs and the chat GPTs and all the other um, um, Gemini and the rest of them, right? Basically. Basically you ask questions and then it fetches from existing data and then tries to, you know, give you an output that makes sense based on the kind of question that you are asking the system, right? Basically. So in a nutshell, we have your GPTs, which is then you have your Gen AI, and then you have your deep learning, then you have machine learning, and then you now have artificial intelligence, which is more like the big cover that covers all of them, right? So so yes, AI adoption framework for project managers. What do we use AI to do? What is the framework,
Yeah,
and how do we Alex, please help us mute. What do we
okay, sir.
use AI for, and how does it help us? So the framework for project managers, there are three. We try to classify them into three key areas where you can try to see how to involve AI in your work as a project manager. The first one is for automation. And when it is complex, the automation for low complex related things. So maybe meeting summaries, maybe status reports, document reviews. AI can help you automate these processes. You can see it now in Teams. You can see your even on Meta that can help you summarize meetings without necessarily. Before now, you have to um, sit down and maybe play the recording again, or while the meeting is going on, you're writing, and then you try to bring out minutes of meetings. But we have systems that can automate that for you and give you minutes of meetings, can give you summary reports, review documents, and all that. So the first one is basically for automation of low complex activities. Then we have assistance for when the complexity is a bit medium. AI can help you in terms of scheduling, right? Planning your resource, right? In terms of risk registers and then validation. AI can help you, can be an assistant for you as a project manager, right? And then for very high complex for projects or events, activities that are the complexity is high, AI can also come in form of augmentation. Augmentation talks about um, you have a human involvement, but it's helping you make it better. So you're trying to forecast, you're trying to do scenario analysis, trying to do portfolio optimization. AI can help you with all this, checking your ROI, return on investment forecast, right? AI can help you with your knowledge, as of course, knowing what the business is all about, what you're looking at, filling it with data, and it can also help you predict those things, right? So, like I said, automated reporting, it makes your reporting faster, of course, consistent, and reduces manual effort in terms of reporting. It helps you to forecast based on your project's historical data. AI can help you to predict the future in terms of predictive planning. AI can also help you do real-time monitoring and detection. They use AI now for fraud detection and some of all these things, right? Because it can, as data is coming real time, can always pick it up and help you, detect whatever it is and all that. And then even in terms of scope, cost, time, if it's moving away from it, it can easily detect it and help you. And then the AI chatbots can also help in terms of making it easy to instantly access project data, policies, and documentation. You can even ask, instead of reading everything, just ask a particular question that you have about the particular policy or data you're looking for, and then it will just go there, search it for you, and then just spell it out to you, making the process faster in terms of governance and planning. Um, in risks, in when it comes to risk management, AI can, like I said, can help you automatically automated risk management identification. It can help you with impact and probability assessment. Remember when we talked about probability and impact and in terms of risk management, and then it can also recommend mitigation. So when there's a risk, what can we do, to mitigate the problem of this, right? And then when it comes to schedule management, AI can help you with dynamic schedule optimization, right? Conflict and dependency. When things are conflicting, it can help you balance it. And then in terms of even in your resource, AI can help you balance your resource. Then when you talk about stakeholder management, AI can also be there in terms of sentiment analysis and communication, helps you to personalize your engagement strategies and then engagement trend insights. It helps you to get insights from all the conversations that has happened, maybe in your groups and all of that. AI can help you. So AI is trying to shift project management from reactive system to a proactive system, right? Trying to bring out issues before they even come. However, if you are booking them in terms of complexity, like I've explained earlier, the automation is for low complexity. It gives you assistance when it comes to medium complex things, and then um, they have augmentation for high complexity items. However, in our use of AI, we need to be responsible and ethical. Um, AI is not your final decision maker, right? AI is an assistant, right? So you have to trust it as an assistant and not your decision maker. Right? Why? Because there's bias, right? There's bias and reliability. AI can sometimes produce squid or inaccurate output. So what you need to do is try to always validate. I mean, while it is good, you need to read through. Don't just pick whatever it gives you and just use it. It could mess up your presentation. So read through it, try to validate before you use it. Then when it comes to privacy and data, never share confidential organizational data with public AI tools. You want to be careful how you use it when it comes to organizational data. I was talking to one of my line manager, our EDs, was like, use AI, use AI, use AI. And I said, sir, we're building a financial product and data is very important to us. And if we begin to feed our codes, our systems to AI, it's going to be a problem because if that data leaks, it's going to be a problem. So if you want us to use AI, you have to subscribe. It has to be something that is generally generally accepted within this ecosystem, so that we don't put anybody in trouble. So yes, data privacy and yeah, and data. Then we have accountability and transparency. So the truth is that you as the human, you are the one that will remain responsible. Um, you need to understand how it reaches its conclusion, and then make sure that what you're anticipating is what it is doing. Um, then we also have a copyright and sustainability issue where AI's the ownership of the AI generated content may be unclear. Who owns it? You know, and then it's something you also have to think about, and make sure that whatever you're doing, you're mindful as you go. So best practices: trust AI as an assistant, never as the final decision maker. Trust it as this can assist you, but it shouldn't be your final decision maker. Now, practical guidance for project manager, right? The first thing is start small. If you've not tried before, start small. Begin with repetitive administrative tasks, maybe meeting notes, status report, documents, summaries, and all that. Try to feed it into some of these large language models. There's several of them. I think I play around most of the time with Copilot. I use ChatGPT. I use Gemini. As a product manager, I use Replit, Cloud, and these are some of the. I mean, it helps me to in terms of coming out with even the design, you up to the level of bringing out the design. And I've also built a website with Replit, right? The website of Neosmart Consulting was actually built with Replit, and I built it in about, I used ChatGPT and Replit. I got the data from ChatGPT, and then I moved it to Replit, and I was able to build the website from there, and I published it from there as well. Even this slide that you're seeing here, I generated it with ChatGPT, and then I generated the slides itself from Gamma. All right. So Gamma is another AI tool that you can use. So this slide is I practically did not, I just read through to make sure it's fine, but most of it was generated with AI. And I did this slide was prepared this afternoon when I got back from church in less than 15 minutes, right? Basically. So it helped me to make my work better and faster. Right. Then validate the output. So always review any AI generated content before you share or act on it. So validate it, right? Protect it. Avoid entering confidential or sensitive information into public AI tools. It's very, very important, and it will help you so that you don't expose your company's data to the public. Then build prompting skills. So when we talk about prompting, it basically means how do you ask questions or question the AI tool so that they can give you the best result, right? Because there's a way you will drop questions and it won't give you the best result. So you need to build your prompting skills, ask the right questions, invest time. It's what is called prompt engineering. Basically, how you engineer your prompt so that it can give you the response you're looking for. So invest time in learning prompt engineering. And then, of course, focus on value, which I think has been the theme of everything we've been doing right from when we started. So focus on value. Use AI to improve outcomes, not just automate your work for work's sake. Make sure that your outputs, your outcomes are improved. So the future belongs to AI empowered PMs, right? The idea is not that AI is not expected to replace project managers, but project managers who effectively use AI may replace those who do not. Right? So you need to get your hands dirty when it comes to the use of AI. Learn, understand the AI ecosystem and where it fits your role. Learn it, right? Then when you learn, experiment. Start with low risk tasks and then build confidence gradually. I think when I started with ChatGPT at the time, and then I started, prompting it, and then before I then got interested in trying to create videos for my brand, and then I got into I think it was Vimeo at that time. I think it was a Google related AI solution, and then there's also Grok that I combined, and I was able to create short videos that spoke to what I wanted to do, right from my laptop without any human. I added sound, everything. Right? Then from there, I started building websites. From there, I started, doing dashboards and different things with the different tools. In fact, I deliberately tried to try different tools. And for me, so far, Copilot has been very good in terms of when it comes to um, corporate work. emails, meetings, in terms of reports and all that. I prefer the output of Copilot because it makes more sense. Gemini used to be a lot for me, right? So play around with them, experiment, start from low risks, and then build your confidence gradually. Then govern, apply ethical standards, and maintain human oversight. Don't just take it as it is, you know, look at it again and again and again, so you're sure that it's giving you the right result. Then lead, champion AI adoption across your team and across your organization. Make sure that your team members are not working in 2026 as they would do in 3, 5, 7 years backwards. Champion AI adoption across your team so that your team will be more and more efficient. So basically, that's a quick summary of AI for project managers. I want to encourage everyone to get your hands dirty, use it as much as you can, and it is going to make your work as a project manager far, far, far more efficient. Thank you very, very much for listening.